Righto, well I've got some wheels here from 88 Wheel Co. to do a review. Yeah, pretty cool. Jeremy from 88 Wheel Co. actually reached out to me and said, hey Aiden, do you want to try some wheels? And I was like, sure thing Jeremy, that would be awesome. So a huge thank you to Jeremy from 88 Wheel Co. sending these out to me. Yeah, I wanted to do a review on both the Vipers from 88 Wheel Co. So the Vipers are 88 Wheel Co.'s new freeride wheel. They've taken the urethane from the Mavericks and made them into freeride wheels. So we've got the first generation, I guess, of the Mavericks, the yellow, and now the new Prothane of the Mavericks in the freeride shape. So they've updated the shape. It's not the same shape as a Moonwalker. These are now 70mm by 50mm contact patch, and a different shape. So these wheels have a rounded beveled outer lip and a sharp square inner lip. So quite different to the Moonwalker, completely different thing, slightly different shape, but they have the same core as a Moonwalker. So yeah. The yellow Vipers are 76A in that Maverick thing, and it's a low rebound urethane, while the white Pro Vipers are 74A, which is a high rebound urethane. And so they're not just two different duros, they're actually quite different urethanes, and that does affect how they compare to each other and how they perform. So they're a little bit more different than just say like the different duros of a Liam Morgan wheel, for example, where they just get slightly softer or harder, which makes them slightly grippier or slidier. They're actually quite different urethanes. The Vipers come stone ground, which is awesome, so you can slide them right out of the packet straight away. Yeah, freeride wheels. Alright, I guess I'll go through my experience on the wheels, sort of where I've skated them, how much I've skated them for, and like my, I don't know, how I found them while I was riding them up to this point so far. But yeah, I guess the first time I rode them was at GRC, and so I rode the yellow ones for the first half of the first day, and then I actually rode the white ones the whole entire second day. And then I've had a couple of small sessions at local hills, and then I got out today at one of my locals to just skate them today to have it right fresh in my mind to make the review. So I've skated a decent amount on them. If you think GRC is a pretty long road, I think it's like 2.5 miles, and so I would have done 6 runs on the yellow ones and like 12 or 13 on the white ones, which is a good amount of skating. And then yeah, 2 or 3 sessions at sort of smaller hiking local spots since then. So like decent amount of skating, but not a crazy amount of skating, but enough to get a good idea of the wheel and to sort of start getting into the meat of them and seeing how the durability is affected. So what I've found so far is that the white ones are like a smoother, slidier slide, and they're a bit softer rolling on, which kind of makes sense because they are a softer urethane. But they're quite smooth and they dampen the vibrations and all that good stuff. Whereas the yellow ones are a bit grippier. They have a more like scratchy sort of in the pavement slide, and they, yeah, a bit grippier, harder to slide. The yellow wheels have definitely worn faster than the white ones. I would say outside of GRC, I've skated them equally. Like I intentionally had my sessions where I would do the same things on one wheel, switch and ride the other wheel, do the same things. And so aside from that, only GRC I skated the white ones more. My smallest yellow is actually 61mm now, whereas my smallest white is 62mm, which sounds close, but if you consider the fact that I skated maybe 6 or 7 more runs of GRC on the white wheels, that's quite a bit of skating, quite a lot of slides, more on the white ones for them to be like still like less worn than the yellow ones. So the yellow wheels wear more, but both the wheels are quite durable. If you think the amount of skating I've done on them, and they haven't even worn 10mm in the smallest wheel yet. So yeah, pretty good durability, but the yellow ones wear more than the white ones. Something that's really nice is like the shape that they have with the rounded lip and the square lip gives them like, they have a really smooth release with that rounded lip, and the urethane is pretty slidey and smooth and nice. Even the yellow ones, it's a little bit more scratchy, a little bit grippier, but still overall, both wheels have a smooth, good slide. But then that square lip gives you a really snappy, responsive hookup, and so you can kind of like you can take nice snappy lines, but you can also like really milk out the slides and just do big stand-ups and stuff. So it's really versatile in that sense of you can kind of do both on these wheels. It's a nice, smooth, easy to slide freeride wheel that's also going to hook up and snap up when you want it to. I never found myself icing out or anything like that, but the wheels are also slidey enough. I never found myself like hooking up or nearly high siding really on these wheels. Both wheels have like a decent roll speed. I remember, because I did also ride the Moonwalkers last year and did a review on those, and those actually rolled pretty fast. I found these like not crazy fast, but not slow. They're just sort of, I mean, I guess you could just say a standard skateboard, like downhill longboard wheel. They're not especially fast, but they're not especially slow. They're just a good freeride wheel speed. Rolling on them, any kind of rougher pavement, I noticed that the white ones are a lot smoother rolling, like less vibrations. The yellow ones seem to like, catch the vibrations and that sort of stuff more. But both are pretty smooth rolling and all those kind of good stuff. The other thing that was interesting was I have a new spot that I found on my way home from work this week, and it's a bit chundery. Both wheels held up really nicely on the chunder. I think the whites handled it better. They were kind of more consistent and smooth across the rougher pavement. The yellows wanted to kind of catch on it a little bit more, but still overall, like they really were pretty good on the rougher chundery pavement, which is kind of nice if you have rough roads or you kind of skate rougher stuff. Like it's good to have a wheel that's going to handle it. I didn't have any chunking. The lips all looked nice. And the slides were consistent and smooth across the rougher pavement. So it would be interesting to see how they performed on chip seal, but I have a feeling they might actually be pretty good on chip seal. So that was sort of my like personal experience and how I found the wheels. I want to try and get a little bit more objective about the performance of the wheel and kind of explain how they feel to use, and like less from like a personal experience perspective and more of like an objective, like how the wheel is. I think the easiest way to describe them is they kind of feel like mini Kevin Reimer wheels. If you think about it, they have a very similar shape design with a rounded beveled type lip on the outside and a square lip on the inside. They're obviously just smaller and narrower. This makes them like more sort of nimble, easier to throw around, more free-ridey, I guess you could say. Sometimes at slower speeds, the Kevin Reimer wheels can be a little tricky to kick out or just maneuver, where these are being a little bit smaller, they're closer to that free-ride aspect. But that inside lip being sharp means you can take like race lines and it's going to hook up when you want it to. Having one lip sharp and one lip rounded also allows you to like have a bit more edge grip when railing corners. You can trust these wheels quite a bit with not thinking that you're gonna slide out going around a corner if you try and grip up. So you can actually pre-drift and take sort of more racy lines on these wheels, which is kind of a fun thing too. They do have a very smooth release, and one thing I liked about them was that like that edge grip is there, and once they release, it's not like a downhill wheel you have to throw it out. They have that smooth release, and once you're sliding, they kind of stay smooth and consistent throughout the slide. They are obviously, all wheels are going to slow you down, but it's sort of like a constant deceleration rather than like, I know some wheels can sort of can heat up mid-slide and ice out, or they can sort of get to a little slow enough speed and just want you to hook up. These ones can kind of like, you can just slide all the way until you stop, and then they'll just stop. They won't sort of throw you off the board. And so you have a lot of control over when the slide hooks up. So you can kind of just, like I was saying before, really milk the slide for ages, all the way to a stop. Or you could do like a fast drift and then you want to hook it up. So you hook it up and the lips are gonna catch and you can roll through the apex of the corner. So they're really versatile, really good in that regard, that you can choose whether you wanna just keep sliding and it's gonna stay consistent, or you can hook it up and roll out. All those sort of aspects that I just mentioned are like for both. They're definitely for both. And then the differences come with the yellow wheels are harder. So like I was mentioning before, you feel vibrations more. Sliding them, they feel a bit more scratchy. Being low rebound, they're grippier and they're more in the pavement feeling. I didn't get them to thane a ton. Some other spots I skated, I did see some little thane lines. It's starting to cool down here, so that's part of it, and also my pavement doesn't thane a ton. Got a lot of comments in the video last week for the power pasters, like everyone's saying they dump thane lines for everyone else, but they didn't thane for me. So I imagine if you have roads where these like other wheels thane a lot, these will probably thane a good bit for you. I know I've seen a lot of footage of the guys in Australia. A lot of the Australians ride 88 Wheelco, and these dump thane lines there. So I'm excited to try these next year when it warms up again and see if I can drop some actual lines on these. But yeah, they're grippier, they're thanier, and they're less durable and not as good on the sort of rougher pavements in comparison to the white ones, which are softer, have a smoother roll, they're a slidier slide, less thany, more durable, and just smoother kind of feeling, like the slide is less scratchy. I think you can kind of hear it in the clips that I filmed, like these kind of have like more of a hissing kind of smooth sound, and these have a bit more of like a scratchy kind of sound. So for recommendations regarding these wheels, I think if you're the kind of person that just wants wheels that are going to slide super easily and like you just ride snakes all the time, these might not be the wheels for you. They are like a more traditional sort of amount of grip as far as freeride wheels go. If you want to try them and you like slidier wheels, you're obviously going to want to lean towards the white ones. But I think these wheels are really good for people that like to skate long runs. They like wheels that last them a long time. They like wheels that have easy to control and smooth sliding. But they're not trying to skate like downhill wheels all the time. Like these are really good for that. I actually really enjoyed skating these wheels fast, you know, like tucking runs and taking drift corners, but like not like with the racing downhill going fast crazy mindset, but just like enjoying those kind of open roads. Like these are gonna be a really good wheel for that. They have a good roll speed, but they're not gonna get you going crazy fast. They have a good amount of grip, but they're not so grippy that they're hard to slide. Yeah, they're kind of like a good wheel for long, enjoyable runs. For freeride style, if you're someone that does a lot of hands down slides, you like to have a bit more feedback, both of these are going to be great options. I think these are going to thane more and be a bit grippier, and so if that's something you like, if you like a lot of resistance, you like that scratchy feeling, you like that in the pavement feeling and that real connection to how the wheels feel, you're going to like the yellow ones. If you like to just kind of slide over everything and feel really smooth and like consistent over all different pavements and stuff, you're going to lean towards the white ones. As far as for beginners, I think the white ones would be really good for beginners. One thing I didn't mention was that they come stone ground, which I mentioned, but the stone ground, they're actually slidier when they're first breaking it. So they're really slidey and really easy to get going straight away. And then if you're learning to skate, the white ones are a bit smoother, probably a bit more forgiving because they're more durable, and they just slide a bit easier. So yeah, learning would be really good on the white ones. You could on the yellow ones, but they're just going to be less forgiving, less durable, less easy to slide. I guess obviously as well, like events, freeride events, these are really, really good for freeride events. At GRC, both wheels, I didn't rotate them, I just put them on at the beginning and skated. The yellow ones obviously for just half the day, but the white ones for the full day on the second day. And I, like at the end of the day, maybe kind of was getting close to needing to rotate, so the durability aspect was great for the freeride. For anyone that hasn't really seen the GRC clips yet, you needed to have a lot of control in your wheels because there was just so much going on. It was chaotic. And these wheels were great for that. I could just throw slides anywhere I needed to, but I didn't have to worry about sliding into someone, sliding off the road, sliding out of the corner. I could trust these wheels that I was gonna make the line I needed to make so that I didn't crash into the guy that's crashing into that guy who almost crashed into that guy. There was a lot of times where I made it through corners and I didn't know like how I did it, but it was probably because these wheels were just very snappy and controllable while also being able to just slide at any notice. So if you're going to be going to GRC, these were awesome at GRC, but any kind of free ride like that, that's going to have a lot of people everywhere and you want to have fun, but you also need control, these are going to be the wheels for that. I guess like not fully relevant, but it's kind of like a side note. Like this has made me want to try the 88 Mavericks because they are in the same urethane, both of them. I think probably the white ones more so because I have been really enjoying the like smooth, slidey white Prothane. But yeah, I haven't tried them yet. Just I don't really ride the bigger square lip wheels too much. But now I'm actually kind of keen to try them and see how they compare for going faster but still having a smooth and controllable slide that feels good. I've heard a lot of good things about the Mavericks and both Thanes, and now I kind of want to try them, and especially the white Prothane. But yeah, that's my review of the 88 Wheelco Vipers in both the Pro and regular Thane. Yeah, hopefully this kind of gave you some information. I know they're pretty new. I haven't seen too many reviews out there. They're actually a pretty cheap wheel. Another thing to mention is like they have on the 88 Wheelco website like the option to just buy the wheel, but you can also buy them in like, I think it's a 5-pack, so it's like a cheaper price for a 5-pack. I gotta say though, I don't know how many wheels you need of these. Like these are lasting me a long time. So they're pretty durable, but they're a good deal. They're great wheels. Thanks again to Jeremy from 88 Wheelco for sending these out to me. I'm just super stoked about that. Really been enjoying the wheels. And yeah, if you're enjoying these reviews, like let me know in the comments. If there's things like in the reviews that I'm not including, I don't know, technical things or opinions or things that I should be trying with wheels, let me know about that too. I'm trying to improve on the stuff that I'm making. So if you have any sort of suggestions and things that you think I should do better, I'm all ears. If you've been enjoying the reviews, feel free to click the like button. If you're watching my videos consistently, maybe consider subscribing. But yeah, thanks for watching.